morning of day 3 was a good one. We found ourselves in the in-between, no longer on the mountain, but not yet on the river. Square in the middle of our adventure, it was like being lost in the pages of a good book, or maybe the folds of a daydream. Where we had come from seemed so far behind, and where we were going so far ahead.
Here we are, here in the valley, by the riverside. We have our peace, we have our freedom, if only for a time. And we will go onward apart when come the winter time. We know it well, the pain of leaving, but this will raise the bar. And I will go with all I know, seek the sound of our dream. Come what may, and come what will, then I'm home
Chris, why is your leg green?
Oh, that's a long story, laddie.
Is that a bad bruise?
You know I'm half Scottish.
Oh! So Chris found out it's not a good idea to have silly putty in your leg when you do a grueling adventure. Silly putty
You always
tattoo.
remind me of this trip, though.
So, we're having a good time this morning. Fantastic. But then I noticed Chris's shorts. And I thought, hey, are those board shorts? Because he's a surfer. And he said, no, they're just, and he paused, and what I figured out is Chris brought jammies on the trip. He brought his jammies. World famous Gatewood Brown. Yeah. How do you feel this morning?
Much better than last night, actually.
Fantastic.
Sleep.
Good stuff.
And it's hard to not be happy when you wake up in the forest, sound of rushing water.
That's what I'm talking about.
I just can't wait to put the backpack on, you know, really.
Well, that's great because we have to leave in 10 minutes to get where we're going.
then I'm home again.
All right, beginning of day 3. We are now on the Wilson Creek Trail, so making time is a lot better. The river's just to my left. Just behind us was the confluence of Stackhouse and Wilson. We probably came another quarter of a mile before we made camp. And we're making good time this morning. We got several creek crossings and possibly a little more bushwhacking, and then we can be out at the gravel road there in Edgemont. And we're looking to get to Mortimer by sometime around lunch and pound some hot dogs. I think everyone's looking forward to that. So Sarah with an H, I hope you got the hot dogs ready. part of the typical hazards of hiking with paddles. And you're 6 feet tall. I'll look for it because there's one coming down here. We think we're crossing the creek here. Who knows? Probably like right there. Yeah, that's true. So this trail crosses the creek several times. It's kind of par for the course for what we've been doing. And but we don't mind. It's a lot better than just total bushwhacking.
I will love you, I'll be there and true. Though I only way down to the world, all of this will go into the world, all into our home. I will leave it, I will leave it all behind. If it means you won't be hard again. 'Cause all your dreams, all your heart's desires, they have.
So we've been making miles pretty good, and we've lost the trail. And Chris and I and the boys are bushwhacking. This kind of feels like a trail again. I think we found it. We may have found our trail, but we think it got washed out by all that recent flooding. In any case, we're just gonna find our way down the creek till we pick a trail up again. It's pretty in here.
Just a girl when I found you there one day.
So we're not sure exactly where the trail is. We believe it's on this side of the river. So we're gonna go ahead and make a crossing and see if we can find it over here.
Torn apart far too many times. You'll need to be alone again. Into the world, I will let you go. Into the world, I'll be there in tow.
And I couldn't help but think how much life was like a journey. In every life, in every journey, there's a few crucible moments we can always look back to or look ahead to. But the vast majority of that journey will be spent in between. Sometimes the path is clear, and sometimes you just gotta blaze your own trail. It's important to know where you're going and where you're coming from. And it's also important to find yourself in the moment and not lose that in between.
So our trail has pretty much disappeared on us. We're just bushwhacking again. I have no idea where to go here. Really pretty rock here. Supposedly there's a trail somewhere. I don't know where it's at. So as you can see, we have found the trail again. I believe what happened is people were getting lost so much in one area that there just wasn't any trail anymore. And after there was no other options, it kind of all came back to one place. We found the trail again, so possibly it got washed out in all the flooding. In any case, we're making good time again. And it's really pretty. The river's really opening up now, flattening out. Where it braids out, it gets a little scoochy, but where it constricts, it's almost raftable now. We're getting closer. Did I tell you how much fun this is? Trying to get through some obstacles with this giant gorilla hanging off my back. Gatewood's probably tall enough to step over both of those trees, but not me. I had to crawl. You might be able to do it. Told you. When it helps to be 6 feet.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's the first time. Oh, that's the first time the whole trip has helped him out. He's been catching everything, poor guy. So the trail is scoured out here from the recent flooding. We're supposed to cross there, but the hillside is gone. There's a blaze on the tree leaning over. You can see it there. Crazy. So the trail here is about 100 feet up over the river. And it's a nice perspective that we hadn't had in a while. Being up above something. Just like that, it started looking very much like a Piedmont trail. Lower elevations are starting to happen. And the woods are definitely changing. Back riverside. Doing a little rock scramble. Just enough traction to get it. You can see the guys are deservedly cooling off. And it takes a second to get used to this water, but you just sit down right in it. Oh, it's cold. How you doing it? Oh, oh man, that's cold, guys.
That's why I didn't want to pool.
I'm not that hot. Sometimes you just gotta sit down in the creek and cool your jets. You can see where we're headed. So as we're walking the trail here, it's about noon Saturday, and thunderstorm behind us is coming. We can hear it coming in pretty quick, so that's going to make things fun. But at least it won't be as hot. And we're on our push to get to Edgemont General Store to get a soda and some snacks, civilization a little bit, and then push on down to Mortimer, have the hot dogs, get our resupply, and blow the rafts up. From there we'll be rafting this thing. You hear the thunder. She's not far. My barometric pressure gauge on my watch just went crazy. Look at that view though. So pretty in here. Whew. So we're kind of at a decision point of what we want to do here. Woo-hoo. Slippery crossing. We're going to go to this point and see what the river looks like around the corner. We're halfway contemplating blowing up the rafts, taking the trail, or continuing bushwhacking down the river. Those are our three options right now. We're gonna see which one we like best. I don't know how deep this is, but I'm going for it. Feels good and cold anyway. Pool is over. That pretty much solves that decision for us. Well, when we got to decision point, which is where we're at, we decided to eat. And that was the decision that was made. So we wanted to press on a little bit further, but my stomach's growling. I suspect the boys' stomachs are growling. And food just felt like the next best thing. So here we are. Have a perfect little beach. Give you the panoramic. The storm has missed us. Not sure which way it blew by, but it broke up or something, but we didn't get hit. Gatewood is under the false hope that there will be some sort of cell service here, which I can guarantee will not happen.
I felt something vibrating in my pack, which is why.
We had hoped to be at Mortimer by lunch, and that didn't happen. We were still a little behind schedule, but making good ground. Here we were at decision point. Would we take the prescribed path and follow the trail away from the river and up over the ridge? Or would we make up a little ground and take the unsanctioned path and stay on the river? We would stay with the river.
This is a fairly momentous occasion. One of the bigger ones on the trip, would you say?
Yes.
We are out of the woods. We're on, I guess it's Brown Mountain Beach Road. I call this the Trout Bridge, because if you look down here from the bridge, you see a couple pound trout swimming around.
Whoa.
You see like 20 of them stacked up there. Probably not coming in well on the GoPro, but there they are. So what we're doing now is walking to Edgemont General Store. Gonna grab us a soda and a snack, and then push on to Mortimer. 2 more miles after that. Nail those hot dogs, wings, whatever they got going. And then we're going to start rafting. I can tell you right now, these are my kind of people. That's what I'm talking about. So we are just gonna walk the road down here to Edgemont and do it that way till we get to Mortimer. From Mortimer down, the river's clear, no more private property, and we're gonna raft it. And you never appreciate a road until you've covered however many miles we just covered bushwhacking. So to all the people who build roads, we salute you. Still walking. Another problem with this section of river for the rafting is it's extremely braided. The river channel is a couple hundred yards wide and all the water spreads out. It would just be a nightmare to try to do it. One of our favorite little things about Edgemont is the Rock Haven house. It's just the perfect little house. Oh yeah. A couple nice little houses in the town of Edgemont, North Carolina. That's awesome. And that white roof up there, I believe, is our general store. We've been looking for this stop. Coffee's General Store here in Edgemont. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and we are really hoping it's open. Yes, it is. The door is wide open. Time for a little refreshments, a little snack. and maybe just a little bit of sit down on that picnic table right there. So we're here with Glennis at Coffee's General Store, and she was showing us the flood of 1940 right there, August 13th. And this is one of the few buildings that actually made it through that. And that's pretty cool. So if you're up in this area, Edgemont, North Carolina, come in and give Glennis a visit. They got all kind of neat memorabilia and antiques.
It was built in 1895. It's 124 years old this year.
This is 124-year-old building.
Wow. This is old bottles.
It's awesome.
That's cool.
Hiker. Hey, dog. This is Hiker, world famous dog. This is Daniel Boone's great nephew's dog. So, some history up in these parts. Come here, Hiker. Come here, man. Yeah, come here. So now I have some history with Daniel Boone. Oatmeal cream pie and popcorn.
Already done. 1 minute.
We earned this one.
Weird drugs.
Once again, if you're in Edgemont, come to Coffee's General Store and she'll take care of you. See ya. Gatewood has opted to go with sandals and shorts. Bushwhacking is over and Gatewood is happy. This man is pumped about some rafting. We're all excited about getting in this pack raft. And we've been fighting this river since we found it. And we're ready to just let it do the work. So the river's getting better and better with every step. More and more floatable. We could probably actually float it now, but we're gonna push to Mortimer and do one big stop where we can get our dinner and then blow up the pack rafts and do that all in one spell and not lose too much momentum and time. It's because we need to push down the river a little bit more after dinner. Onward. So squirrel's up the road here. You can't even see where he is. I can see 300 yards. I think there was rocket fuel in those 2 Gatorades he drank at the general store. But he is booking on out. And we are in between Edgemont and Mortimer. River's right to our right now. And it is prime for rafting. We're just gonna get this hot dogs, drinks, sit down at a table and just enjoy some Betsy's Old Town Store. Bring the waft of manhood in there to let everyone know we just came off Grandfather Mountain. So we're coming into Mortimer and I see Betsy's. Squirrel's pack's out there. He got to getting with it a little bit ago. He wasn't waiting around for us. So I stayed back here with Chris and Gatewood. And this is a welcome sight. Basically this signifies the end of the walking. And we're all happy about that. Well, here again at Betsy's. Let's go inside and see what we got going.
Well, look who it is.
Sarah with an H. And what's your name?
PJ.
PJ.
Bring you the tags.
We made it. So we're here with Sarah with an H again, world famous. And she's taking our hot dog order and treating us right. So you got to go to Betsy's in Mortimer. We're excited about it.
Can I do ketchup and onions, please?
We're here at Betsy's. We got the live show going on. A little live music in the back. You guys doing a little intermission. And we're finally with our hot dogs here. Gatewood, let's see it. Let's see it go down.
World's best.
World's best.
Take a bite.
Oh, yeah.
He's tired. There you go. So good. Chris has got his wings. Let's see what they taste like. Is that where it's at?
Charred goodness.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know it's good when he wears it. It's hard not to wear a good chicken wing.
Check 1, 2.
We are here with world famous Chad Triplet, the band. And they're putting on a show here.
Check 1, 2. Check,
Checking their
check.
sound, they're about to get cranking.
Around and on some old dance floor.
So we're leaving Mortimer. Always a little bittersweet, but it's the beginning of a new trip. We're about to go pump our boats up and start floating. All right, this is it. Just a little bit past Mortimer, and this is where we become pack rafters. It is time to start rafting. River's heading that way. You can just hear Mortimer still cranking up the road, and we're excited to just kind of set out into the river. What does this mean to you, Chris? What does this mean to you?
It means a lot. It means we're gonna not walk for a while.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, Gatewood, what does this mean to you?
It means the world.
Rock star, baby. All right, here we are to capture on film the moment Squirrel became a pack rafter.
And this was the moment we were all waiting for. There was so much excitement building up to this moment
Rafting, oh, this is way
that it
better.
almost seemed surreal. The amount of effort we put in to get here was incredible. We were pushing the limits of the guys, but we made it. To follow a river from its source and then be able to float it is something you have to experience to understand. It was a remarkable thing.
Thing right through there. Uh-oh. The V, Pete. I'm trying to get to the V. There it is. Oh. You stole all my water. We made it. I got by with a little help that time.
Over the next several miles, the river would grow quickly and also change in character. It was constricting and starting to show deposited boulders, all signs of the gorge that lay ahead. But that was for tomorrow. Tonight, we just enjoyed the most relaxing and perfect paddle I've ever experienced.
That's the sound of not walking, Chris.
be gone your way. All the pain fade to memory one day.
We just carry down here and just go around it. Wasn't watching. There we go. Get in there, Betsy. Get in there, Betsy. There we go. That would have been fun.
We had reached the upper Wilson in the fading daylight. This is a Class 3 stretch, which would show a lot of change very quickly. The river was instantly a different river than we were paddling in before. Amazingly, we were finally, for the first time in the trip, on schedule.
Here we are, here in the valley, by the riverside. We have our peace, we have our freedom, if only for a time. And we will go onward apart when come the winter time. We know it well, the pain of leaving, but this will raise the bar. And I will go with all I know to seek the sound of our dream.
Today had started well, but it had ended even better. And in many ways, this was the hardest day. It was also the most rewarding. It was a day that would come to define the trip for us. A day that found us in between.
The setting sun